kind of towards the end of the ride, we ended up filling up like at the gas station, and I had a full tank of gas. And we were riding on the highway, and my buddy, Little Debbie, he came up next to me and he was trying to like point at me and yell at me, trying to tell me that when I was in a wheelie, my gas overflow on my tank was just spitting out like on my back tire, and I didn't know. I went up to the front of the pack and I was doing my wheelies and stuff, and then I went to do a hand drag, which I'm really comfortable doing. I do them all the time, and my back tire was just covered in gas, and which just slipped right underneath me. I ended up going down, and the first thing that went through my head is I knew the truck was on my back left, so like I wanted to kind of scoot my body away from the truck. As crazy as it sounds, I didn't really care about a bike hitting me. I just really cared about that truck. So like I just tucked my arms, and I always use my vest because I just feel a lot more safe when I'm riding with it. I knew Supreme was right behind me too. I figured like he would kind of see me go down, but you know, it's really hard when you're going that fast, you know what I mean? You can't react really fast in those type of situations. So as soon as I seen that truck, I knew I was in the clear of that truck, and then I knew that Supreme was right on my ass. And so I just tucked my arms, rolled back, and I was trying to like miss him, which I did. As soon as I washed out, I went down to the left, and then my leg was pinned, and it was like dragging me by the bike, and I was like, there's no way I can like push off this bike. I tried to move out of the way because I knew Supreme was kind of towards my left, but right on my ass. And you know, you can't really react going really that fast. You know, it happens just like that. He ended up like barely missing my body, and he hit my tank, and God bless him, man. He flew over the handlebars. I'm just so glad he's okay. But the only thing in my head, in my mind, was him, you know what I mean? Seeing if he was okay. His rear shock hit my tank and put a big old hole in it, and then which made my bike flip, and then his 12 bar was sparking up the road, which lit the fire up because the gas with the hole in my tank, and then it was just a huge fire, man. It was my craziest wreck, but not worst wreck.
Were you hurt?
No. Before any of these rides that I go on, I always sit, and I'm damn near the last person out of the parking lot because I pray so long. I pray for everyone around me, and I pray for myself. And yeah, that day, I was the very last person out of the parking lot because my prayer was so long. And I'm just so glad that, you know, we're both still here. And I came out clean. I didn't get hurt. I just got some burns and stuff on my back, but and he got a broken arm. I helped him, you know, every way possible I could to get his bike back up and going. I sent him some parts and stuff because it was my fault. I'm just glad that he's okay. You know, all he had is like a broken arm, which is unfortunate, but we all know the risks that we take, you know, and just that was unfortunate, you know what I mean? Like when I went to drop back to do that hand drag, I didn't even hit the brake yet. Like, I did not even touch the brake. It just slipped right underneath me. Like, I wasn't even fucking on the brake. But I'm just so glad that we're still here. I still have a few pieces with me from that wreck. The jersey that I was wearing, it was burnt up. And I still have like my front brake master and my hand brake master. I still have them. And then my pride and joy HT Moto seat. I love that thing. I looked everywhere to get another one of them, but I couldn't find it. But I ended up going with Bell seats. While the fire was going, man, it was the biggest fire I've ever seen in my life. It was really, really big, and it was super hot because it was in a tunnel. But I wanted my bike. I didn't want to leave it, and I wanted to touch it, you know, so bad, but I couldn't because it was so hot. And I had a guy next to me, a random dude. He was like pressuring me on getting on his bike to take me to the camera truck, and I kept saying no. And but anyways, I ended up getting pressured onto his bike, and he took me to the camera truck. And the guys from KC, they were like, no, we're not gonna leave this bike. We're gonna stay with it. And the pack ended up putting it out with like water bottles and stuff. I don't know how they did that, but they ended up putting my bike out, and then they ended up, stashing my bike. And then we were like 45 minutes, 50 minutes from where we were, where my buddy's truck was. And he rushed to go get his truck, and he came all the way and got my bike, and he showed up at the lot with my bike, and I was just super surprised, man. I didn't want to leave this thing. It's my pride and joy. It's my baby. And even when, someday down the road when I retire, this thing's going to stay in my garage. Like, it's going to stay with me for sure, so.